Okay. KTT, new episode once every 2 weeks. This is episode 37. I am Drift. I'm joined by my co-host.
It's BlackStarXero. Just call me Xero.
That's how we bringing in this episode. That's the energy we bringing. All right, cool. So we're going to be covering Boruto, 2B Vortex, stay tapped in, come on. And One Piece, come on, stay tapped in, Elbaph Agwan. So, Boruto, 2B Vortex, yeah?
Yes,
So
sir.
the man that's been tapped in to maybe the last couple of pods when we covered it, we have been really stuck up on like what this Uzuhiko can really do. You get me? So now we're going to really kind of talk about it. Do you feel like it can actually, yeah? And I'm just going to start here. Do you feel like it can actually kill a Shinju?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Why?
Because we've already seen it. We've already seen one with decent charge time basically take out Hidari.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
So, in my opinion, in the right circumstances, the Uzuhiko can do the job.
Cool. Now, do you feel like Shinju, as we know them, so that being Hidari, Matsuri, Bug, Ryu when he was still among us, you know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. You feel me? And
should we say this about Matsuri?
I mean, God rest her soul too.
She's a soul thorn as well, isn't
you know
it?
what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to be fair, yeah, nah, she's a soul thorn right now too. You feel me? So God rest her soul too. Here lies Matsuri and Ryu. We knew them well. We knew them for like 2 weeks. You feel me? But yeah, cool. Do you feel like they, as Shinju, are fundamentally different in nature to Jura?
Fundamentally different in nature?
Yeah. Right?
All right, cool. So that's kind of a tricky one
to
answer.
Go on.
Right. So, by our current estimates, Jura is like the remainder of the Ten Tails.
What?
All right? And every Shinju was just a stripped off piece of the Ten Tails.
Shinju or Clawgram?
Sorry, the Clawgrams.
What?
Thank you. All the Clawgrams were just stripped off pieces of a Ten Tails. And then that manifested it later on that tree thing they have at the hideout.
Yeah. Would you? Yeah.
Yeah. So, being that Jura is the remainder of the Ten Tails, and the Shinju themselves are like the Clawgrams stem from the Clawgram, which is basically a part of the Ten Tails anyways. Yeah. There's not too much distinction between the two of them in my eyes beyond the fact that Jura is the remainder of the Ten Tails.
And therein lies like the distinction in my eyes. You feel me? I feel like by that very same description there, that is what marks them as different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Jura is the Ten Tails. You feel me? Whereas Hidari, for example, is the result of a Clawgram biting an individual, and then the result of that is the resulting
so he has his own individuality, is what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even to speak to like individuality. You know what I'm saying?
Not in like the personality thing, but it's like it's not dependent on anything else. It wasn't dependent on outside factors. It just kind of manifested.
When you're talking about Jura?
Yes.
Yeah? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I was gonna tail end it by saying I feel like what I'm driving at here is they might be different by virtue of their birth, their creation. You feel me? And that might why Wagwan for me today. Yeah? And that might be why Jura is the de facto leader of them. You feel me?
Okay.
Of course, the de facto leader of them and the one that anybody feels like swapping hands with is a by default loss. You know what I'm saying? Even when we got to like the 10 path premonitions, is that what it's called? Is that what it's called?
The 10 part, yeah.
The one that lets you see multiple futures. You know what I'm saying? The one that Kashin Kojin has. You know what I'm saying? So stay tapped in. You feel me? Even in those ones, when Kashin Kojin is talking to Boruto and detailing some of these dark futures, it's always, hey, Jura slumps you. You feel me? It's never Hidari slumps one of you, man. It's never any one of the other Shinjus that we know who are like named slumps one of you, man. It's always Jura, which lets you know, in terms of threat level, this nigga is the top up. You feel me? Which is kind of to be understood. But I feel like the reason for that is he's fundamentally different to every other Shinju. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like skill set and perhaps power. I mean, I'm not even going to say perhaps power. I'm definitely going to say power.
Definitely
you feel me?
power.
Definitely going to say power.
All right.
You feel me? I am definitely going to say power. You feel me? I haven't seen anybody else bark off an ocular tail beast sniper shot. I ain't seen nobody else bark it off yet.
Fair.
You feel me?
Fair.
And it's little things like that. It's little things like that that really make me feel like, okay, cool. I don't know, like, I see what it did to Hidari. You get me? And that's actually why I even asked the question. You feel me? Because I'm like, when I juxtapose the two engagements that I've seen the Uzuhiko used in, you know what I'm saying? Cold notwithstanding. You feel me? Code notwithstanding, yeah? When I juxtapose the two scenarios in which I've seen the Uzuhiko get used, yeah? There's one where he hits Hidari with like a more substantially charged version, you know what I'm saying? Shreds him, leaves him as a bulb, right? And then there's there's Boruto hitting Jura with it, and that one was less substantially charged, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Conferring the effects similar to what Code felt when he was hit by his, right? Cool. Now, to me, when I see Jura say, hey, I am the principles, like the fundamental principles of that technique, and that technique being the Uzuhiko, yeah? When he says that the fundamentals of that technique are similar to my own, and that's why I can negate it, that to me makes me feel like it's not about the amount of power that was used necessarily. It's him saying, yo, I can outright just negate this attack. You feel me?
Right.
And I don't feel like any one of the other Shinjus could ever claim such a feat.
Right.
You feel me?
All right. So I don't agree. I look at it from the other angle, right? And you've already set out the stall regarding the Uzuhiko, so I'm not really going to rehash that.
Okay.
Right? I started off by answering that under the right circumstances, I believe that it could, right? And in the fight against Jura, right, if Boruto had a similar kind of setup as he did with Hidari, I feel like it would have done a lot more damage. The Uzuhiko is a twofold thing, right? The more substantially charged one is the more devastating one because of the amount of power put in and everything like that. It's not relying on the whole world twisty, the discombobulation. It's not relying on that. It is a brute force attack. You understand? Utilizing a lesser version now, like he did on Code, right? For a reason. He didn't hit my with a fucking.
We don't even need to use Code. You can use it. You can use it.
Yeah, you understand? But with Jura one, it was just a quick one, right? To hit him with the Uzuhiko, right? To give him the debilitation, so he'd have an easier time taking him out. Boruto miscalculated in that one. So at the same time, sorry, I'll
go on.
But at the same time, he also didn't have enough time to really charge up the Uzuhiko to do any kind of substantial damage to Jura. He was really banking on the debilitation effect.
So cool. To hit back at that, right? I'm gonna ask you this. So you're saying you wholeheartedly believe a full charged Uzuhiko could kill Jura?
A full charged Uzuhiko off rip, just like beginning of the fight.
A fully charged, yeah.
Fully charged one.
Like
fully charged is whatever.
Under whatever circumstances you want to like create it in. You know what I'm saying? A fully charged Uzuhiko. Do you feel like that could kill Jura?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, second question. In some of those elsewhere dark futures that we hear in which any time Boruto goes up against Jura, he generally dies. Are we going to assume that in any of those futures, he's never once tried to use a full power Uzuhiko?
I wouldn't necessarily look at it that way. I mean, all right,
in some of those futures, he's even further along than he is now. So we're talking about a
sure. There's a future out there where it gets to an adult. You understand?
So stronger. So like by virtue, we're talking about a stronger Boruto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously, he only has access to the Uzuhiko today because Kashin Kojin told him that he unlocks the ability in the future. Right. You feel me? So I'm gonna assume that in the future you're stronger and the ability is stronger, and you've already been mixing with Jura. Are you then telling me that you feel like in some of those Elseworld futures where we always hear you coming up against Jura ultimately ends in your death, he never once like claps Jura with a full power Uzuhiko?
Well, all right, cool. That's quite hypothetical, right? But again, my whole take on it is he needs, for that to really work the way as it's intended, right? Boruto cannot be fighting Jura on his own. It will never work, right? You'd have to have Jura at least in a position where he's just yapping on, and then you can charge for as long as you need.
So keep in mind, don't base what you're saying off our teenage Boruto alone, because it's not the only iteration of Boruto that we know that fights Jura. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's the only one that we see. You feel me?
Sure.
But we do know high facts that there is an older version of him in a future that uses the Uzuhiko, and he still gets clapped. You feel me?
Well, so that's the thing. We don't know that. They never specify exactly when in the timeline Boruto dies against Jura. You understand? We know there's a future where he
always does.
We know there's a future that he gets to Uzuhiko. I think that's older, right? And then there's other futures where Jura kills him. So
other futures. So you're saying that there are discernible futures in which Boruto's alive after mixing with Jura, and also futures wherein Boruto dies when he fights Jura.
Yeah. I think so. Right. Because that's the one kind of Kashin Koji kind of trying to nurture right now, isn't it?
This one.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? So it exists.
But again, what I'm saying is you can't base the discussion we're having now. Like, okay, cool. The point that I was making is in one of the Elseworld futures.
Yeah.
So not the one that he's nurtured.
So
like
in
Kashin
any
Gold.
one, he's not used a full power. So he's charged up to the maximum and hit Jura with it. That's possible. I'm also saying that it's probably not going to happen because he needs to keep moving, so he never have the time to do that.
But here's the thing, though. Right?
You're saying that, you know, all the iterations, wiser, different tactics, all them kind of things. Sure, possible. You understand? It's very possible that he does hit my Uzuhiko and it never works. Possible, sure. But I'm also saying that with the right circumstances, it possibly could work.
Okay, cool. But here's my thing, right? I have more. I feel like I have more evidence to say it probably wouldn't work than you do to say it would. You feel me?
And I say I still have the.
That's
I still have the what is it?
Hidari.
The fight with Hidari to kind of back up what I'm saying about the Uzuhiko.
Cool. So, in summary, right? You do feel like the Uzuhiko can kill Jura.
Yes.
Okay, doc. So what does the statement of I can negate this technique, what does it mean to you? Like, expound.
All right, cool. So Boruto used 2 Rasengans against Jura. Standard Rasengan didn't do anything.
Okay.
Right? Cool. Then he used the Uzuhiko, right? Which he used, like I said, like we agree. Quick one, hit him with it. Okay. What Jura negated was the debilitating effect. The power of the full power Uzuhiko, that was never used against him. So Jura can negate the debilitating effect, the rotating, spinning effect of the Uzuhiko, sure. But a full power Uzuhiko doesn't rely on that. It is just destructive power.
But okay, so you're telling me when Jura says I can negate this technique, he's only talking about the debilitating aspect.
Well, that's the only point. Unless you're gonna clash the Uzuhiko with like a counter spinning Uzuhiko full power one.
Alright, cool. Alright. We do kind of have to wrap up the Boruto segment here. You get me? But alright, cool. I will say this as like my closing argument. You feel me? My closing argument is I do feel like Jura is fundamentally different to like the Shinjus as they exist. You feel me? I feel like that is a thing. Perhaps it won't be. You feel me? But I do feel like it's a thing, and I feel like that statement holds like way more weight than like perhaps you might feel it does. That's how I feel. You feel me? But that's kind of why I look at that panel and I'm like, something is actually worth gleaning from that panel. You get me? But obviously, as far as this particular point goes, we polarize as fuck. You get me? We polarize as a motherfucker. You feel me? And that's gonna be the Boruto segment. My dog. Unless you have anything else you wanted to add.
No, we're good on Boruto.
Straight off Boruto?
Yeah.
Then, in the next segment, we're gonna be talking about One Park. LOL, no, I mean One Piece. Catch you in the next segment, love. And in the next segment, we have arrived. If you're listening from the last segment, One Park is a Gintama reference. You get me? Stay tapped in. Stay locked in. Anyway, KTT, episode 37. If you still tapped in with us, drop a like if you want to. Drop a comment if you feel to. But yeah, we're talking about One Piece. You dig? Mo, throw it over to my dog because I'm not going to lie to you. Immediately, I have a question.
All right. What's
that
the question?
being, bruv, hear me. In my eyes,
it sounds like some fuck shit coming now.
Bro, listen, yeah. I feel like Elbaph might be non-existent after this. You know what I'm saying? There's a chance, gang. I'm not gonna lie. Because the size of that army that Imu is currently controlling is not small. In both vertical or like numerical variations, my guy. You feel me?
I see what you did there.
Like, come on, you feel me? I'm tapped in. I'm telling you, bro. I'm ready. I'm active. You feel me? But, however, right, back on task. G, with the size of the army that man Imu has currently at his disposal, you have giants the size of Oars. And I don't think it's just Dory and Brogy. I think all of the giants that have been affected become similarly sized.
Yeah, it would make sense.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You have extra large sleep tids or whatever they're called now. You know what I'm saying? Sleep tids. You know what I'm saying? Lame name. Can't lie to you. I hope that's not the official name. I think
it's named off cryptid.
I know, but I think the official name. But sleep tid does sound dead to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this whole thing is sleep, so you have to put sleep in it somewhere.
But you didn't. I mean, I suppose I'm not gonna come up with something better. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop hating. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We have extra large fucking sleep tids. You feel me? Alongside the giant army. You feel me? The giant in capital fucking letters army. Yeah. Versus effectively the Straw Hats. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. The fuck is y'all finna do? Y'all ain't finna do nothing. You feel me? So it's really all of that, plus the Holy Knights themselves, who are still pretty problematic on their own.
Damn right.
Right? With a emu possessed Gonko floating in the sky with bat wings, a tail, and being able to summon a trident, right? And being able to summon shotguns out of grimoires. Like the grimoire itself just spawned out of a pentagram above her hand. And then it opened, and then a shotgun came out and took my nigga on Brogy's arm. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Fun fact, trivia, yeah? The arm, when he comes back as like a demon, it's still missing the gap what that was shot off, but you can still normally use it. So like, yeah. It's real macabre looking shit, I can't lie. I'm like, he really in his bag for this like darker aspect of shit. You feel me? Because like children are getting fucking like threatened over here. You feel me? All of that. You get me? Nothing new in One Piece, boy. But anyway, yeah, dog. I think Elbaph might be cooked. It might be cooked, or at least if it's not cooked, it's going to look drastically different post this arc.
And if so, what have we lost?
Damn.
The library is on fire currently.
Damn.
You understand? Yeah. So unless you save the library, I see no value left in Elbaph. What are we talking about? Lore? Like, these men are gonna, like, pass down the stories of what? Elbaph. You understand? Okay. The most valuable thing to me on Elbaph is currently on fire. I'm sorry. If it gets destroyed, so what?
It's a nation of people?
So what's the fucking thing? You can rebuild.
So
you understand? But the library, once that's gone, it's gone.
So was what?
Huh?
So was what?
What's it called? Dressrosa. That shit got absolutely trashed with the birdcage. You can rebuild that.
Alright, cold blooded.
You understand? Yeah, bro. Man said Elbaph might be cool. Bro, so what?
Okay. So what? Cool. Now fuck it. Okay, I'm gonna ask. We're gonna get to it. What's your beef with Elbaph? Like this feels personal. What did Elbaph do to you?
Bro, I just stated it clearly, bro.
Yeah. Alright, then run it back for me.
Run it back and for you, bro. Listen,
because this is actually the first I'm hearing this.
The most valuable thing to me on Elbaph was the library, the books that you say from O'Hara. Not every single one of those is gonna have information on the Void Century and such, but it has valuable shit in it. How many of them giants you think actually sat down and read them fucking things? Can they pass that down? No, they fucking can't.
Okay.
You understand? The library is fucking on fire. No, I don't care. If you destroy it, whatever.
But here's the thing.
Just right? if it gets boomed.
But here's the thing, right? The library being on fire isn't just some fuck shit. You feel me? It's not that the library is on fire for some fuck shit.
No, it serves a purpose. Emu wants to stand to erase the knowledge. Yeah, no, I understand that. But
I'm more imminently.
Okay.
It's either I burn down the library or the fucking children are gonna get killed. You feel me? So that's why I'm like, hey man, it's not like the library just burning on some fuck shit. You feel me? The library's burning because it's either books burn or jits die. You feel me? So I'm like, through that lens, but okay, cool. You're telling me so.
No, that is bro. All right, let's clarify.
So wait.
Let's clarify. The correct decision was made. So I understand the point you're making there, right? I'm not gonna bullshit you on that point. Yes, the correct choice was made. I am saying, for me personally, if the library goes, I lose the interest in Elbaph. Because that's why I was saying Land of Giants and all that kind of stuff. They're like, whatever. You understand? There's not a great deal there. Even your sun god mythos ain't that strong. You understand? But the tree, the same fucking tree, right? That is all burning on now. Because if that shit fucking catches on fire, we'll lose the mural too. Do you see what I'm going to say? Like, bro, if we lose that.
So effectively to you, did like the nation of Elbaph can be distilled to just the library and the mural?
No.
Okay, bro, my bad.
No, right? I understand that Elbaph has broader appeal than that. I'm just you understand?
It don't seem that way.
But to me, because that's what's irking me the most. So if you're telling me like, yo, like we lose Elbaph, we might lose the nation of Elbaph. I'm like, bro, we've already lost the fucking library, all the knowledge in it. It's as good as done anyways.
Again, distilling it down to the library and the knowledge. So I'm just
but it's more than that. I get that. You understand? No, it is because like
say it with chest, nigga. I only fuck with Elbaph because of the library and the mural. Nigga, ain't nobody coming with pitchforks. You feel me? Just say, hey, You feel
fine,
me? So,
that's fine.
so
But
that's what
I'm also acknowledging that obviously there's more to the fucking island than that. But I'm just like, bro, we've already lost the vital shit.
And again, you see, you heard it here first. And again, yeah, nigga said, bruv, I acknowledge there is more here. But the library, though.
Exactly, fine. You get me? Like, fine about that, bro. But the library, though.
No.
Can we not save both? Is there no way to save both?
What I'm saying is, bro, hey, understood. You get me? A nigga distills fucking Elbaph down to library, mural, cultural history. I hear it, fam. You get me? Understood.
You might have supposed to be the last bastion of that shit. You understand? Like, bro, if the last bastion's gone.
Hey, man. Me personally,
I mean, all right, cool. To be fair, we don't know what Roadstar nor Laughdale has, so whatever. But still,
me personally, can't lie. I'm not enthused that the fucking library's on fire. You feel me? I'm not enthused about it. You get me? Don't make my bacon sizzle, so to speak. You get me? But yeah, can't lie. If the island does get boomed, I'd be fucking tight because I'm like, it just seems like we've seen so little of the fucking island. You get me? I'm just like, cause
what we've seen so far, we've seen the shoreline. We've seen the shoreline basically, because that's where
we've seen Tutu
Mother
worlds.
Caramel used to live, I think.
You get me? We've seen Tutu realms.
You understand? Like when Loki is at the bottom
the
of
sun world and all of that. Right.
You and then the middle branch of Midgard, I think.
If it get boomed on top of the women's, the children, you feel me? But blood, it just feels like damn, we got introduced. We waited 20 plus years, I think. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe slightly less than that. It might be like 15 plus years since like the first mention of Elbaph. You feel me? But we waited X amount of time, and then midway through the arc, well, no, I wouldn't say midway. I don't feel like Elbaph's destruction, if it does happen, is gonna happen midway. You feel me? It's definitely gonna be like the climax of the arc or some shit. You feel me? But I feel like if it does happen, if it does come to pass on some Ragnarok shit, you feel me? On some Ragnarok shit, because it is very Nordic themed.
Yeah.
You feel me? If it does come to pass, I'd be like, damn, boy. It feels like we were here for like 15 minutes, like collectively. You feel me? It would feel like we were here for like 15 minutes collectively. You get me? Like the loss of the fucking library would blow. You feel me? But I feel like you can divine up some other way to give me expo. You get me? Like a broadcast-esque type shit. You know what I'm saying? You did it there. You get me? But blood, I'd be like, cuz we were here for like 15 minutes.
I mean, all right, cool. Listen.
And the start of the arc was this road bullshit. And again, somebody did show, like somebody was like, I think it was my man, but somebody did show. It was like, there's a Grand Line review. You know what I'm saying? Somebody noted that at the start of the fucking Elbaph arc, you get the whole fake sun god manipulating fucking people like they're marionettes and shit. You get me?
Okay.
What's going on now with Gunko and the army?
Oh yeah, fake fucking sun god. Well, I wouldn't. No, I don't think Imu calls himself the sun god. But yeah, like, somebody fucking country.
You feel me? I was like, cool ass little parallel for somebody to see. I was like, okay, I wasn't looking at it because I ain't even gonna lie to you. I completely just blocked out the fucking first maybe 5 chapters of this arc, bro. Like,
I tapped in, but like when I figured out that that's what I was like, yeah, nah.
The whole road shit
get me to like actual Elbaph, and then we're good.
That road shit,
which I started picking up. But yeah, like, listen, I know I just made a big stink about the library. All right. And in truth, like if I'm being fully honest with the people,
hey man, just remember, ain't nobody coming for you, man.
Doesn't matter. I still value the fucking tree more than anything else. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Having me fucking say, I value the tree more than anything else. Yeah, I want to know everything, and that place has answers, right? Don't burn it. Cool. But the other place that has answers is currently floating in the clouds. You understand? So his whole fruit
right now.
His whole fruit thing is that he has all the knowledge he's ever accumulated.
As of right now. You feel me? So I'm like, as of right now. You know what I'm saying? The two sources, the two locations with the strongest like historical knowledge. One is ascending into the sky, you know what I'm saying? And the other is the point of like the discussion right here, Elbaph.
It's currently on fire.
It's currently on fire. Love that. You feel me? We don't know that if there's no other location in the future. You know what I'm saying?
What do we have left, right? Hachinosu, no. You understand? Lodestar.
Man said no.
And Laughdale.
And again, cool. Listen to what you just said.
What, Hachinosu?
You know what I'm saying? Fuck Hachinosu. Okay. Lodestar and Laughdale aren't going to have information about the true history, nigga.
Huh?
Lodestar and... Come on. Gang,
we don't know what the fuck's going to happen with them, so...
Cool.
True.
Cool. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, cause we don't know if no other location is going to start dispensing that ancient knowledge. You know what I'm saying? There's still the whole man marked by a flame who has the last fucking poneglyph. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the working knowledge with the man marked by flame.
He has the last
the last poneglyph. You know what I'm saying? That's the working knowledge, which is why everyone that's why black-based niggas are looking.
Wait,
for
I don't think did Big Mom? Yeah, Big Mom had one, didn't she? So you can move them. All right, cool. Carry on.
Right, but cool. That's the whole fucking interest regarding the man marked by flame. You know what I'm saying? Right. Allegedly, you have the last fucking poneglyph, right? So I feel like once we leave Elbaph, we're definitely gonna start getting more ancient fucking history knowledge. You feel me? It's just, damn, not gonna lie, I just don't know when. You feel me? I just don't know when, because the knowledge you get from like the ancient history is usually condensed. Like it's usually very condensed, but very informative. But you get it every now and again. You feel me? Man
fucking
said condensed. Dense, but informative. Man said condensed, bruv. Dense, but informative. You feel me?
Well, it's
That's
condensed.
usually what it is.
It's a lot of fucking information in a very small.
Yeah.
So it's like, 1, 2, 3 pages out of a chapter. Every 500 chapters.
Love that. You get me?
Do you understand?
You get me?
Every 500 chapters, here's something new.
Love it. You get me? Love it, bro. Love being kept waiting.
Condensed is accurate. Don't watch that.
But yeah, cool. Point 2 in One Piece, you dig? Because all of that, believe it or not, was point 1. Point 2, the similarities between G5 and Emu's seeming abilities, insofar as like the imagination aspect. You get me? Luffy can fight in the freest way possible, or i.e. he can fight in any way that he can imagine within reason. I feel like niggas kind of get fucked up with that part, because there's a comment on one of the shorts that we had.
I remember man said he could like drop meteors
from the
like,
sky.
Luffy can't do that. If he could have done that, why did he do it against Kaido?
Like, Twan, what the fuck? What the nigga? Ground yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ground yourself, man. You feel me? Cool. Right? But then you look across the pond, you know what I'm saying, and you see Emu. Albeit a Gonko possessed Emu, right? But you out here just spawning shit out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? It might not be quite imaginary, but being able to spawn shit out of thin air is pretty parallel, I can't lie. And it doesn't seem like it's limited as to what you can spawn. You know what I'm saying? Combined with the fact that you can control people and like fucking demonify them and make them stronger and bigger and immortal and shit. I'm like, gang, cool. That's all of that in terms of abilities, right? Now I'm gonna bring your attention to the gigantification aspect, right? Of Gear 5, because you've seen Luffy do it, I believe, briefly in his fight against Lucci. You know what I'm saying? Briefly in his fight against Lucci.
You've seen Luffy do it several times. Kaido, briefly versus Lucci, and definitely you saw it again in all its glory against fucking Kizaru.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you've seen him do that plenty enough. So it's not like maybe he can do it. He definitely fucking does it.
Yeah. No. It wasn't even maybe. It was more so like, cool. I don't know if I'd link that to the fucking imagination aspect, because he could do that from Gear 3. You know what I'm saying? Not to this effect. Not to that effect. You know what I'm saying? But gigantifying parts of your body, he could do that from Gear 3. You know what I'm saying? It's just he couldn't do it the way he's doing it now in Gear 5, right? I say all of that to say, if anybody can remember when Sabo pulled up to fucking Emu and the fucking 5 elders, when he launched the fire attack at fucking Emu, in a split second, Emu transformed and ate the attack and then started to come off the throne. The size of Emu, the big black silhouette thing that we see, does kind of make me think, hey, you can morph your fucking body too.
Can you gigantify?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can morph your body too.
I mean, yeah, so point 1 and then point 2. Right. So on point 1, I see where you're going with that, especially with what Luffy does. Right. So Luffy's definitely just hammer spacing. Right.
Yeah,
he's just definitely just pulling shit out of hammer space. Right. Yeah. So the goggles, the baseball bat, and the helmet, shit like that. He's definitely
to more speak to the imaginary aspect, being able to swing on fucking lightning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cool.
Right. Okay, so yeah, there's the toon ridiculousness.
Like
right?
toon verse.
I wasn't even gonna speak on that because I feel like that's not so much hammer spacey. That's just like that's just gangster. Like, imagination, sure. That's just fucking gangster. That has nothing to do with Toon Force, right? Yeah. Or maybe some to a degree. Anyway, whatever. Right. Point being, I can see it. So Emu has the ability to manifest things via their ability, right? And Luffy has the ability to manifest things via his imagination when in Gear 5. So I can see that parallel, sure. And maybe it's even the best counter. You pull out some bullshit, I pull out some bullshit. You pull out a shotgun, I pull out a fucking shield. Do you understand? Like, maybe it's the best counter.
Like, you pull out a shotgun, I grab the ground and whip it to block the fucking attack. You know what I'm saying?
Some shit like that. You understand? So fair. Right. On the gigantification point, though, that's the one I'm not too sure about. Right? And reason being, like, we've been seeing niggas grow big for a minute now, because that was Kaido's whole fucking thing.
No, but now here's the thing, right?
Hold on, last point on that point, and then I'll, turn it over to you. the Gorosei also come pretty big on Egghead.
Now, here's the thing, right? I did factor in the Gorosei when I made that point, right? But here's the thing. The Gorosei are fully transformed, right? Cool. Even when you saw him in that black silhouetted state, did he look like he had horns?
No, I don't think so.
For me, did you see like the presence of bat wings?
Well, it was an amorphous blob, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, amorphous blob with like with digits. You could see the digits.
That's
and
what
then
I'm
the
saying.
tail.
Like a gigantic black fucking figure with digits, a head, and a tail. You feel me? So that leads me to believe once it's properly revealed, this nigga's probably gonna be able to fucking body morph. You feel me? Because the size he was on the throne to become the size he was when you see him cooling off of it in an instant is like, I'm like, okay, cool. So you can probably just body morph. You feel me? And by body morph, I mean similar to the gigantification of Luffy in Gear 5. You feel me?
So Emu can just themselves become bigger.
Become bigger? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So
because
you don't think there's a form underneath that, like with the Gorosei at the time?
Expand, what do you mean?
All right, cool. So you know how we saw the silhouettes for all the Gorosei, just the silhouettes of what they were.
Yeah.
Right? And then on Egghead, we saw the full thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is, are you saying that Emu just has the ability to gigantify himself, themselves?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
non-binary
I
ass.
feel
Yeah. To gigantify themselves. Fuck.
Yeah.
Or is there a transformation behind the gigantification?
There's definitely a transformation behind the gigantification. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the big black, like digited hand form, you know what I'm saying? He still had the tail. You feel me? So I feel like that was.
Yeah, but he could have borrowed that from what's his name? Mercury?
Hey, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just going off what I see. You feel me? So I'm like,
or Gunko.
When I see the size that body became in that instant, I was like, oh shit. You know
all right. Is he gonna be a big boy? Definitely.
But
definitely.
I feel like
Definitely.
the only reason I drew my attention to it because I'm like, there is some parallels between, like, if possible, then like those are very strong parallels between him and Luffy. You know what I'm saying? And there's already rumblings of people thinking Emu is a god in the fucking mural. You know what I'm saying? It's already working knowledge that Luffy is this iteration of the sun god. You feel me? Right? And there are people who believe.
I mean, based on this not based on this discussion, but with what Emu did in the throne room there, right? I think we probably already touched on it in the mural discussion, but I genuinely feel like that was Emu. The one holding the fucking sun.
100%.
That was Emu.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So that's likely 100%. What Emu looks like.
But this is the thing, though, right? Why would you not be able to, like, there were no discernible horns?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't going down that hill. You know what I'm saying?
Might not even been a full transformation at the time. Because even the anime did give it like
and that's why that rounded
overbite.
Look. That rounded look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, not the rounded look. It did kind of give him kind of like an overbite, which I think is anime only, but they're allowed to add flourishes.
But this
right?
is the thing, right? It's even in that form there when you see him like over the throne and when you see him with the Gorosei chasing Sabo, you don't see any horns. You feel me? You don't. You get me? But can't lie, Emu remains an interesting and intensely interesting point of discussion. I can't lie. You feel me? I don't know Wagwan for man. What's he gonna do next? What are they gonna do next? You feel me? That's all I had for One Piece. You feel me? That's all I had. Unless you had anything you wanted to tack on the end, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So.
Okay. What's up? What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? All right, cool. So it's just the ability that Emu has to basically mind control or manipulate people.
Word.
You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, again, all right, cool. So as I'm talking about now, I can kind of see the parallels where that's gonna come from. Right? So, for example, Emu could theoretically, right, body up all the flipping useless ass celestial dragons on Pangea and mold them into like an army or whatever to come fight for him, right? On that fight there. And Luffy now doesn't have that ability to manipulate and, you know, control people, but he has the ability to bring people together. So an army would come behind him
most
anyways.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so maybe that's it. So his way is by force and Luffy's way is by joining hands and, you know, full on friendship.
Like the sun, you know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Yeah. But right. So real quick off this one.
Right.
I saw somebody talking about this and I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, and I'd give credit actually here if I remember where I saw the video. But the point is, Emu's now shoved himself into people. Pause. Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I would have worded that.
I'd have probably worded that differently if they're like, So he's now injected his consciousness into people.
Good save.
Right?
Yeah.
To create his army to fight for him on Elbaph.
Okay.
Kuma has the ability to repel shit.
Okay.
Do you think Kuma has the ability to repel that?
Like repel emu outside, like
Repel
repel
emu
emu's
out of
possession outside of somebody's body?
Yeah.
Bad boy hypothetical. Whoever asked that
Bro,
question,
I cannot
that's
remember
a
where I saw
bad
that, boy, but
hypothetical. Yeah, no, obviously,
yeah,
if you can remember, do drop credits, you get me? Like at some point in the future, but bad boy hypothetical, boy. I can't lie. That's a fire train of thought.
And he just so happens to be on Elbaph as well.
Bruv, I would have been like preposterous. You know what I'm saying? I would have been like, you're talking craziness. You feel me? Until I saw a nigga like his own memories. You feel me? Like a nigga, his memories and them shit came out in physical form, boy. So I'm like, if he can concepts, my nigga, like on non-physical form, my nigga, like.
I mean, because clearly he can't do everything. He had the ability when Ginny was sick and he couldn't just knock that out of her.
Because he didn't know at that point. Like that was a younger that was a younger Kuma. You know what I'm saying? More like way less experience of his powers. You feel me? By the time that he, and by every time I pause when I say that, it's him.
Actually, nah, he would have known how to do it because he did it with the villagers' pain. So that's one thing about Kuma as well. He was taking out the pain out of them,
nigga,
and taking it into himself.
Memory, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Pain is one thing. Being able to, like, how do you even describe what's happening there? You know what I'm saying? Like being able, like, if I look at a nigga and I go, yo,
how do you make a memory a tangible thing? Yeah, I know. It's
me?
One Piece magic, of course.
That's what I mean. It's like, cause I would have said preposterous if I hadn't seen a nigga make his own memories tangible. You get me? If I can repel fucking memories and make them tangible, nigga, I can repel a whole ass presence that's taken over a body. You feel me? I feel like that should be within the skill set. Not gonna hold you. Feel me? Not gonna hold you. Fire question. Not gonna lie. Fire piece of question.
Right. So we can return to that one later on. But so what do you think? Just real quick thoughts on. Oh yeah, fire question. Yeah.
Yeah. Fire question. I personally, I feel like he should be able to. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be able to. Yes. You know what I'm saying? If you can repel a nigga's memories out of your fucking mind and make them physically manifest. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna break the fucking world if he can repel an evil presence out of somebody's body. You feel me? But yeah, I feel like if anything, hey, probably a strategic choice to turn that nigga like into like just a full cyborg that's basically largely inactive. You know what I'm saying? Apart from just protecting.
Yeah, you should have died, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay, cool. I feel like we is gonna wrap up the discussiones right here. It's been KTT episode 37. I have been Drift.
It's your boy Xero.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Love.